This video will help you assemble your Radiant Health Pause P-2H sauna. 2 adults are required for the assembly and installation. As a first step, open each of the 3 boxes. Start with the square box. Lay the box flat on the ground with the taped seam facing up. Use a sharp blade to cut the tape. Take each piece of the sauna out of the box and set it aside. The first piece you will see is the bench. The next piece is the bench skirt. You will also find 2 boxes with accessories. The large piece is the sauna's floor. Place it on a flat, level surface, roughly where you plan to place the sauna permanently. The flat part of the floor is the floor heater. The electronics attached to the floor will eventually be covered by the bench. It may be possible to move the sauna slightly once it's assembled, but it's best to build it where you intend it to stay. Ensure that the electrical cord reaches an outlet. Ensure that the floor is level using a bubble level and use shims if necessary. The next large piece is the sauna's ceiling. Set it aside, ensuring that it doesn't rest on the rounded front edge. Next, open the rectangular box that doesn't have the red tape on it. Lay the box flat on the ground with the taped seam facing up. Use a sharp blade to cut the tape. The 2 large pieces in this box are the sauna's side walls. Finally, open the rectangular box with the red tape. The red tape indicates that this box contains the front of the sauna, which has a glass door and a glass window. Take great care lifting and maneuvering the front panel, ensuring that the glass door does not swing outward. The final panel is the back of the sauna. The back, walls, and front of the sauna sit in the channels around the edge of the floor. Ensure these channels are free of debris and that all cables are moved away from these channels. Position the back wall into the channel. One person must now hold the back wall in place while the other person brings in the left wall. The wall is attached by lifting it slightly higher than the back wall to allow for the pins and slots at the wall's edge to mate correctly. The back and the side walls are correctly positioned when the top edges where the corners meet are flat and flush. After one wall is connected, the structure is freestanding. Repeat the same procedure for the other wall. Next, it's time to start connecting some of the wiring. Connect the walls to the floor by matching the tags and types of connector for each cable. A detailed wiring diagram is shown in the installation and operating instructions, which are included with the sauna and available for download from the website. When connecting the cables, listen and feel for a click, which lets you know that the connection is secure. The next step is to install the bench skirt. Insert it into the slots on the side walls, ensuring that the black carbon heaters are facing out. The bench skirt has two handles which can be used in the installation process. The bench top is next. Bring it into the sauna, carefully observing which surface is the top and which edge is the front. Lean the bench along the back wall so that the remaining electrical connections can be made. Connect the cables to the bench and the bench skirt. Close the latches on either side of the bench skirt. If you have purchased an approved red light accessory, the power cord for the red light can be pushed through the grommet at the back of the sauna at this time. The power cord for the accessory can then be draped through the notch in the bench skirt before lowering the bench. Ensure the back of the bench fits snugly under the heater panels and sits solidly on its supports. Adding the door is the next step. It's very important to handle the door carefully so that the glass does not swing outward. The magnet holding it in place is not very strong. Position the door in the slot on the floor and lift it slightly so that the pins and slots at the wall's edge mate correctly. The front wall is correctly positioned when the top edges where the corners meet and the side walls meet are flat and flush, and you cannot pull the corners apart. Take 4 styrofoam blocks and position them on the top corners of the sauna. These will support the ceiling panel while the cables are connected. Position the ceiling panel on the blocks, ensuring that the rounded edge is at the front. A step stool or a small ladder may be helpful for this next step. Open the top hatches to expose the wiring within the ceiling. Connect the cables that come up through the walls to the corresponding cables in the ceiling. A detailed wiring diagram is shown in the installation and operating instructions, which are included with the sauna and also available for download from the website. After connecting the cables, lay them flat within the ceiling and close the hatches. Next, remove the styrofoam blocks and lower the ceiling onto the walls. Ensure that the cables are vertical and do not get pinched. If the ceiling does not fit snugly on the walls, it may be necessary to tap or push the walls slightly to flex the structure. Unclipping the latches under the bench may also help. With the sauna structure now assembled, it's time to move to some of the smaller details. The larger accessory box contains 3 items: a fragrance holder, a cup holder, and a sand timer. The fragrance holder can be hung on the top rail of any heating panel. The glass sits in the holder. The cup holder has a bevel on the back which slides onto the bevel that is pre-attached to the sauna wall. The sand timer must be attached to the sauna wall using screws. Locate the sticker and the pre-drilled holes, turn the timer to expose the holes, and attach the timer to the wall using the screws provided. The flat rectangular accessory box contains the door handle. It comes pre-assembled and must be disassembled before mounting onto the door. An Allen wrench and a spare set screw is provided. Use the Allen wrench to loosen the 2 sides of the handle from one another. Set aside the handle with the set screws. It will be for the interior side of the door. Loosen the hardware assemblies from the other side of the handle using a Phillips screwdriver. Pay careful attention to the order and the orientation of the elements. You will be reassembling them in this order on the door, with the plastic washers on each side of the glass door. A detailed diagram of this assembly is shown in the installation and operating instructions, which are included with the sauna and available for download from the website. Position the handle to be straight and level, and attach it to the exterior of the door using a Phillips screwdriver. Slide the shafts of the interior handle over the exposed hardware, pressing firmly into the decorative flanges. Some adjustment in the exterior handle may be necessary in order for the interior handle to fit properly. Tighten the 4 set screws to attach the interior handle using the Allen wrench. Congratulations on assembling your Radiant Health sauna.